Wow. Oh my god. Witches Familiar was amazing. I cried. I really did. The beginning was just... Again, you know, with these videos, I've noted I'm always lost for words. That's what to say. But no, seriously, the beginning was awesome. I mean, it just jumped into a cliffhanger. Well, jumped into the cliffhanger straight up. The Doctor is stuck on Gallifrey, and Missy and Clara are supposedly dead. And so much more. We've got a mixture of laughter, so much sadness, and a little bit of confusion, and a twist which may pop up later in the series, but we'll have to see. But for now, let's go into the review of The Witches Familiar, and what is, to me, one of the best episodes of New Who so far. 5-star, complete range. It had everything. It was very human. It just, I really, and yeah, no sonic screwdriver anymore. Whether that's going to remain is a question, or not a question. But overall, you know, the episode was just absolutely amazing and touched on so many things. But anyway, I could blab on all day with this intro to this video, but I'm sure you're all keen to get to the review, so let's begin. And Geronimo! So, where do we begin? Well, we begin with a cliffhanger, where it left off. As you all know, Missy and Clara are presumed dead. And I say presumed for deliberate reasons, because we find out very quickly later on in the episode they have not died through a clever little plot device. There is a lot of things that, well, of course, we find Clara tied up. What an amazing situation. And Jenna actually said during the behind-the-scenes commentary that she found it very difficult to act upside down, and who wouldn't? And also that Michelle Gomez actually felt really bad through acting it. But no, it was a brilliant scene. Clara is tied up and upside down, and Missy sort of plays with her. Like, she says, I've got a pointy stick, we're going hunting. Well, basically, we're going hunting, and Clara asks, what if we can't find anything? That's why you're tied up. And, yeah. So then Missy proceeds to tell Clara a story / well, it's kind of a story, it's kind of a test for her to, you know, find out what the Doctor would do, hinting at what she did, basically, through a clever little plot hole. But anyway, you guys know the plot. I'm just running over some bits that I find interesting about it, and quite funny, actually. So they find that out, and then basically we see that they are going to the sewers, which are graveyards, which is a creepy idea if you think about it. I mean, the thought that the Daleks could still exist as sentient goo is quite horrifying, in some senses. But it was funny how it happened. I mean, you've got Clara and Missy trying to figure out the depth of, you know, how far they need to go down into this sewer. And, well, to find out, Missy, of course, is like, oh yeah. So she throws Clara down to the pit. I found that hilarious. That bit of humour was well placed. There were a lot of really funny one-liners and really funny little bits of slapstick throughout the entire episode, really, which was quite funny and quite well done. Also, the Doctor ends up in Davros's chair. I thought that the Doctor would kidnap Davros, but apparently not. Which was an interesting move. Well, it's bound to happen, and I love it. Admit it. You've all had the exact same nightmare. That was brilliantly placed. Then you've got Davros and the deep conversations with Davros, between Davros and the Doctor, which really adds a new dimension. And yes, for many, I know for a fact that it might have, well, I don't know for a fact, but I know that it may have pulled at your heartstrings. It certainly did in mine. I was, even though I knew Davros was lying, and I think most of you knew, did any of you want to believe him? I did. It was very touching. Of course, Colony South is back. Although, yeah, he kind of takes a bit more of a background role, which is kind of good because he wasn't really necessary. That's the entire thing. And then, you've got Clara turning into a Dalek again, which is a really good idea. And it kind of ties a few knots around where she began. We all saw in Asylum of the Daleks. But I sort of wonder if that's sort of a hint to Clara's death, really. I mean, as we saw with Amy Pond in Asylum of the Daleks, nanites nearly converted her into a Dalek. So, it's just a theory, but I think that's being revisited yet again. And it's going to be a slow, gradual thing throughout the series. Which is probably a good way for Clara to go. I mean, sure, it's her time. I think it's one of those inevitable things that need to happen. Because somebody else has to take the helm. It's how Doctor Who works, doesn't it? Who you are, whether you're loved or not. Everybody has their time. And just like Sarah said, whether it's a world or a planet, everything has its time. Everything ends. And sorry, I forgot a tiny bit of that quote, which is relationship. But there you go, the gist is still the same. Very brutal potential ending. And did I also mention that Missy has a child? That is awesome. And I have a funny feeling, again, another theory, I have a funny feeling that Maisie Williams' character is Missy's daughter waiting to happen. Now that could happen, because why else bring it up and keep, so much secrecy around Maisie Williams' character? But overall, I think the whole interesting premise of, well, Davros dying, yeah, but also the fact that the Doctor created Davros. And also, as I said in the last review, didn't just create Davros, but also inadvertently may have caused the Time War as a result, and killed millions and millions of people, all because of one decision. He left a child alone on a war field, in a war, and, well, to likely die. Even if it is Davros, he created his own monster, and that's the point of the entire two-parter. Yeah, no, it's just one of those really touching episodes, and for a lot of it, I thought that the themes they touched on, mercy in particular was one of the big ones, but also compassion again. Davros, typical, decided to manipulate the Doctor, and yeah, that was fairly cruel, but it did pull at the heartstrings, and yeah, Davros really, to me, he really made me want to believe him. I mean, I knew he couldn't be trusted, but I really wanted to believe him for a minute or two. And yeah, But you know, and then you got the Daleks turning into, well, they turned into hybrids. How cool is that? Might be revisited, and you know, as you know, with Daleks, they're never completely dead. They always come back, just like Davros always come back, just like he always come back. Cool characters in Who never die. They can't. What else can I say about it? Well, there was quite a lot of humour overall, and a very, very smart ending. I mean, you know, you've got Davros trying to play the Doctor and into giving him, you know, regeneration energy to feed through himself and all the Daleks to make them hybrids. Which, again, was a trap within a trap scenario, which we kind of all saw in, well, multiple times, but one of the key times that I remember was during the Tooth and Claw episode, where the 10th Doctor just decided to, well, he found, more or less, he found a trap within a trap for the Lupin Hemobariform. I nearly tripped on that word, but there you go. Yeah, that I like that sort of game of minds. I really like that scenario, and yeah, I think between Davros and the Doctor, it was very personal, despite the fact there was not a lot of manipulation going on both sides. It was not only personal, but their conversations really, as Moffat said, are always brilliant. There's not one moment between the two of them which isn't iconic. And again, yeah, Davros really doesn't see himself as negative. He actually seems like rather paranoid and rather terrified. Well, he is terrified all the time. So he's clever terrified, and that's a dangerous mix. But yeah, I think, how can I sum this up? Because this review is probably a little bit shorter than usual. Doesn't mean that I didn't care for it as much. In fact, that's not the case at all. The episode itself was fantastic. I loved it. It was just one of those episodes that you could just revisit again and again and again and again and again. In fact, the whole two-parter was. But, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. This review can't be 12 minutes long. That's a little too short. Other than, I might edit over some of this pausing. But yeah, no. Well, it's nice that the Sonic is gone. And what do you think? Do you think the Sonic could have been kept? I think it was a bit overused over the years, and I think that's why they got rid of it. There were so many jokes that were really, really funny and really well placed in The Witch's Familiar, which was nice. It was nice to break up the tension a little bit, and also the drama. I loved it. It was a cool idea to have words and emotions actually fueling a Dalek's garden. That was a cool concept. I liked that. And also, I think, you know, with Davros' shield, that was also inevitable, and that was a nice touch too. But again, everybody knew it wouldn't last long. It was very, very nice though while it lasted. It was pretty funny. And watching the Doctor completely lose it was nice to see in a sense. Right, just gonna stretch. Oh. And so yeah, I expected this review to be a little longer. I really did. I don't know, I guess overall I guess what I loved that so much is it changed the rules and the boundaries of Doctor Who in a sense. I mean, to actually care for an enemy in Doctor Who was very rare. I mean, sure, we might care, in terms of an enemy is an enemy and they're really good at it, but we don't care in a certain sense of, is there any depth to that character? I mean, sure, even though Davros was manipulating the Doctor, I still believe some of that manipulation was brought upon by actual real emotions, real anguish, real pain, and Davros really carried over quite well, and I was in tears, I'll admit it, and I had quite a few, I had a tissue box next to me at the time. It was very, very sad. So yeah, without a doubt, I'd give it a 5-star for the 2-part of the whole thing. I gave the first part 4.5, but this is a 5. And Moffat really did overall create a nice beginning to Series 9. It was very, very nice. It had the darker elements too, which was very much Who. It had so much more story too. So much more touching moments, and it was well paced. I think pace was the problem with previous series. They were either too quick or either too slow. This was just right. And so yeah, 5-star. That's what I think of it, and I look forward to the next review for the next episode, which I can't remember the name of, and I'll probably find out and edit it into the video later. But for now, this is the Corsair signing out. See you later, everybody, and enjoy your week. Bye bye.